going on, Jeromes? Beautiful day for some Q&A. Thank you, everyone who submitted questions, and we're going to do more. We have to do more. Anyways, first up is Kirk Lair, almost like Vike Flair. What positions will Kwesi need to avoid in the draft to potentially save his job, i.e., no first-round receiver, because their impact at wide receiver 3 would not be enough for people to say it was a slam dunk draft pick. I don't think there's any position that he, per se, needs to avoid. I guess avoid drafting Jackson Dart or Jalen Moreau at 24. Although Moreau being invited to the draft, that definitely raised a couple eyebrows. But I don't think there's anything that Kwesi needs to avoid necessarily, right? Honestly, the Vikings are set up to go full-on BPA in this situation. And even the specter of like edge rusher isn't off the table. Like, say, James Pierce or Mikael Williams or whoever is there. Even though the Vikings are racked up and stacked up there, you can never have enough dudes who can generate a pass rush, right? So I think that Kwesi's in a good spot, and he's going to get extended, and this is his team. And here's what's weird, too. And I was just thinking about this the other day. So everyone pisses and moans about the 2022 draft, but the Vikings still, despite basically having a draft class that didn't contribute to anything, which if you look around the league, a lot of teams have that. Look at the Packers 2021 draft class. But the Vikings still have a top 5, and it's not 5 roster in the National Football League, despite that. But no credit for that at all. So there you go. Next. Wesley White. If you could bring back one player on each side of the ball, defense, offense, special teams, for this year's run, who would the 3 players be and why? So I'm guessing this is in their prime and not like now, because Alan Page is still pretty spry for 80, but I don't know, but Randall McDaniel it was close. Randall McDaniel and Hutch would be great. Now, obviously, Randy Moss and Justin Jefferson would be fantastic. Except specifically Hall of Fame caliber at the position of need. I mean, that just makes sense, right? Or God, prime Adrian Peterson would be kind of good too. Except he's not really an outside. He was never really an outside zone guy. Power. Gap. Then Alan Page. So the drawback with Alan Page is that he was 265-pound defensive tackle, but I think that could be scaled up. So he'd be playing at like 280, but just getting after things, wreaking havoc. Alan Page was Aaron Donald before Aaron Donald. Just watching back some of his old tape, just the quickness, the creativity up front, and I don't know, like Alan Page is great. Legend. And for special teams, I did kick around the idea, pun intended, of Gary Anderson, right? Just redemption song. Although, if it came down to a last field goal in a big time playoff game, I don't know. But for me, prime time Cordero, especially since they're changing the kickoff rules again. I mean, Cordero in his absolute early prime, I mean, just a badass. Like, he should honestly make the Hall of Fame as a kick returner. Right, and I will go to the mat on this. Like, Cordero Patterson was a better kick returner than Devin Hester. Now, Bears fans would be like, "Oh, Devin Hester returned all those punts." Yes, punts. Difference between kick returner, punt returner. Devin Hester is the best punt returner of all time. Cordero is the best kick returner of all time. And we will die on that hill. Next, Casper Kidd. Either this dude's from Wyoming or he just likes ghosts. I don't know. Who are some of your favorite defense tackle prospects in the draft of 24-97 day 3 to add to the rotation and supplement what the Vikings already have in the room? For me, 3 crushes at defensive tackle have been pretty clear. Derek Harmon. I think that Derek Harmon's so good. And he is going to ascend. I think that he will grow and show into one of the better defensive tackles in this league. I think that his quickness, his ability to get a pass rush, led the nation in pressure rate, playing that 5-tech, 3-tech. I mean, he's going to be good. Like Cameron Hayward with a better pass rush is ceiling, which is really damn good. Omar Norman-Lott. So I know that ONL is a little bit polarizing, but for me, just the quick first step penetration, I think there's a lot of Milton Williams to his game, and he'll be in the day 2 conversation in there. And then day 3, Aeneas Peebles coming in from Virginia Tech / Duke. I mean, Peebles is just a whirling dervish of energy, man, and that's what I want. So numbers are numbers, yes, but heart and hustle, traits, and how quickly can you blow up a gap is what we're looking for in this spot. So that's why I love Norman Lott. That's why I love Peebles. I think both of them are going to be huge value later on in the draft. Of course, Derek Harmon's Derek freaking Harmon. Next, Marcus. Lots of talk of Malachi Starks or Nick Emenware. Wouldn't Metellus just succeed Hitman as strong safety, or do you think it's too important to play with three safeties, keep him as a joker weapon? So here's the genius of Flores, because during his time in New England and during his time with the Dolphins, like, he never deployed this three safety look as hard in the paint as the Vikings, because the Vikings three safety look was their base defense, right? And yeah, he employed it in sub packages at his other stops, but this is the genius of Flores, and this is a sign of a good coach, because good coaches will develop their scheme around their players, whereas bad coaches try to fit their players into their scheme. Like Norv Turner was one of those guys. But so when Flores came in, like, he had Harrison Smith, he had Cameron Beasley behind him, who was ascending, and Josh Metellus was, even though they signed him to an extension, he was a backups / special teams captain. But Flores came in, he made Metellus start. Remember, that was a little bit controversial at that time, because Metellus, Harrison, and Beasley, it'll never work, and it worked. Damn straight it worked. So I think that it's not so much replacing one for one, just getting great talent in the building, and then Flores will adapt from there. And I don't think it's as cut and dried as like, hey, we need three safeties, but guess what? If you're trying to get your best 11 out there, and they happen to be three safeties, he can work that out. So I do think that Starks or Emenware, if they are the pick, even though they brought back Theo Jackson and they see a large role for him, probably more one for one replacing Beasley. And if and when Harrison retires after next season, there will be a shuffling of the deck a little bit, right? So I think that if it is Emenware, he's closer to like a one for one Harrison. Starks is a little bit more like Metellus. So I think that, no matter what happens, Flores will adapt his scheme accordingly, which is something that's great. Also, it's great. So, Corktown Eatery in Duluth last year introduced the CJ Ham sandwich, and we questioned this at the time. Chris the Turbo, why is there no ham in the CJ Ham sandwich? That's a very good question. But maybe it's something that, CJ, Cortez Jr. Ham, obviously he's heard the jokes from when he was a kid. Maybe he doesn't even like ham. Like, maybe he doesn't even eat pork. I don't know. Who knows? But the CJ Hammer Slammer, which by the way, Corktown, it's really good. If you're ever up in Duluth, go get you some. It's a fantastic place. The CJ Hammer Slammer house smoked pastrami. By the way, there's nothing better than when they do the pastrami in-house, because you get that scent going around. They got the brisket skin slowly turned into pastrami. Let's go, man. Skull sauce, which I don't know, is me after a Vikings win. Cheddar, dressed greens, pickled jalapenos, baguette. All right, so no ham, but it's a straightforward sandwich. It is really good. Also, the dressed greens is something that's really underrated in terms of a sandwich. Like, you would be shocked. I don't know, like we're like a meat and cheese, Midwest in the region, but like some properly dressed greens with like a nice vinaigrette, or even something as simple as a little bit of oil and vinegar, or salt and pepper on the tomatoes on your sandwich, like that will take you to take me a higher love. Like, it'll take you higher, like Jackie Slater style. I know, Jackie Wilson. Take me higher. I just combined like 3 different songs and also brought in Jackie Slater. Anyways, but yeah, the sandwich sounds good. But I don't know, maybe that was like CJ's mandate. It's like, hey, you can make a sandwich of me, just no ham. Because if you think about it too, maybe this is by design, because people always talk about the sandwich now and the fact that there is no ham. If the sandwich had been just like ham, like it'd been ham, bacon, and like ham spread, I don't know, ham salad spread, people would be like, oh yeah, it's CJ Ham sandwich, and then just sort of fades in the background. But the fact that it is this delicious, amazing pastrami sandwich, and everyone talks about how there's no ham, so maybe that is some sort of like viral marketing strategy. Who knows? Anyways, that's it. That's at Q&A on this beautiful Monday. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.